that should hopefully be kept from audiences.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. We're counting on you guys to make the noise. I don't even know if we have a trailer.
Gore Verbinski, a director whose imagination has stretched from the haunting halls of the Ring to the swashbuckling seas of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Look, working with Sam, you kind of have to keep things a little loose. That opening sequence in Norms is...
At 61, Verbinski has quietly built a reputation as one of Hollywood's most visionary filmmakers, blending surrealism, emotion, and adventure in every frame. But recently, during a rare interview, the Oscar-winning director finally opened up about the films that shaped him, the 10 movies that inspired his visual storytelling, tone, and cinematic philosophy. Today, we dive deep into Gore Verbinski's 10 favorite movies and how each one influenced the mind behind some of Hollywood's boldest blockbusters.
The kind of hero in his mind that he thinks. You know, all that stuff sort of slowly develops, and okay, desert, water theme, okay, well, you know, what's a great reference? Well, Chinatown, let's go Chinatown Light, you know, so we'll go Chinatown for kids, and sort of...
10. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, 1966, directed by Sergio Leone. When Gore Verbinski talks about cinematic influence, he often begins with style, and no one defines cinematic style like Sergio Leone. Leone's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly wasn't just a Western. It was a visual symphony. The wide desert landscapes, the long silences, the close-up stares, all became part of cinema's grammar. Verbinski once said,
"You don't, I do, everybody does."
Leone taught me the power of holding a moment until it becomes uncomfortable, then using that discomfort to tell a story. 9. Brazil, 1985. Terry Gilliam's Brazil is a film that's both chaotic and brilliant, a dystopian dreamscape about bureaucracy, identity, and madness. Verbinski has praised Brazil multiple times.
You haven't got the ambition. Luckily, you've got me and the deputy minister.
Calling it a world where logic and insanity coexist perfectly. That influence is evident in Verbinski's later work, especially A Cure for Wellness, which feels like a spiritual cousin, blending bureaucratic horror with surreal visuals. 8. Apocalypse Now, 1979. War, madness, and obsession. Apocalypse Now is the ultimate descent into chaos.
The director, you sort of have to design a slightly looser frame, I think, because he's never going to do the same thing twice. I mean, certain actors can put it on a dime. I think Sam is always pursuing, you know, some...
For Verbinski, it's not just a war movie, it's a meditation on control and surrender. He once noted, Coppola created a movie that feels like a hallucination. You lose your grip on reality as the characters do. That philosophy shows up in The Ring and A Cure for Wellness, where the line between sanity and insanity slowly evaporates. 7. The Shining, 1980. It's almost impossible for a filmmaker interested in psychological horror not to be influenced by The Shining. For Verbinski, Kubrick's masterpiece represents the perfect balance of control and chaos.
I'm just gonna bash your brains in. I'm gonna bash them right the fuck in.
The sterile hotel corridors, the slow tracking shots, the sense of dread without monsters. All of that inspired Verbinski's approach to atmosphere and pacing. In The Ring, for example, every shot feels measured. Every frame holds a secret. That's pure Kubrick influence. 6. Chinatown, 1974. Film noir at its most poetic. Chinatown is a labyrinth of lies, greed, and broken dreams. Verbinski has long admired how Polanski's direction turned Los Angeles into a character of its own. Sunlit but corrupt, beautiful but poisonous. That paradox deeply influenced Rango, Verbinski's animated Western. Beneath the quirky humor and talking lizards, Rango is a neo-noir Western about power, water, and corruption. The same themes that run through Chinatown. 5. Eraserhead, 1977, directed by David Lynch. If there's one filmmaker whose DNA can be found in Verbinski's surrealism, it's David Lynch. Eraserhead, strange, disturbing, and dreamlike, fascinated Verbinski early in his career. He described it as a nightmare you can't wake up from, but you don't want to either. That Lynchian sense of dread, where reality feels off-kilter and nothing makes sense, became central to Verbinski's own psychological horror language. In A Cure for Wellness, he channels Eraserhead's texture, sterile environments, mysterious sounds, and characters trapped in emotional purgatory. 4. Raiders of the Lost Ark, 1981. Adventure, spectacle, and pacing. Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of those films that redefined modern cinema, and for Verbinski, it was a blueprint. He's admitted that watching Raiders as a young filmmaker was like seeing pure craftsmanship unfold. Every beat, every shadow, every piece of rhythm perfectly tuned. When you look at Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, the influence is undeniable. The balance of humor, danger, and awe. That's Spielberg's DNA filtered through Verbinski's eccentricity. He once joked, "If Spielberg gave us the melody, I just added a few wrong notes." 3. Raging Bull, 1980. Verbinski has often praised Scorsese for his emotional violence. Raging Bull is not about boxing, it's about obsession, guilt, and self-destruction.
To get in the zone. And it's tough with an ensemble because sometimes...
For Verbinski, it's the kind of storytelling where pain becomes poetry. He once said, "Scorsese films make you feel the wound before you understand it." In Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, you can feel that same idea. Jack Sparrow and Davy Jones are both driven by obsession and guilt. 2. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962. Epic, majestic, unforgiving. Lawrence of Arabia is perhaps the greatest adventure film ever made, and Verbinski cites it as the film that taught me how to frame dreams. The vast deserts, the loneliness of a single figure in an endless horizon, all of it shaped how Verbinski approached scale in Pirates of the Caribbean and Rango. In interviews, he said, "David Lean painted with emptiness. That's something I tried to steal." Even the score, the sweeping camera moves, and the sense of destiny all resonate through Verbinski's work. 1. 8½, 1963. Verbinski's all-time favorite film is a fitting choice. 8½. Federico Fellini's surreal exploration of creativity and self-doubt. He once confessed, every director sees themselves in Guido, trapped in imagination and responsibility. 8½, follows a filmmaker who can't finish his movie, haunted by memories, fantasies, and expectations. Verbinski relates deeply to that conflict. The artist versus the spectacle, the dreamer versus the system. You can feel Fellini's influence in every Verbinski film. The absurd comedy, the existential loneliness, the circus-like chaos of creativity. From Rango's hallucinatory desert scenes to the dreamlike logic of A Cure for Wellness, Verbinski channels Fellini's spirit, the freedom to be poetic and strange in a commercial world. He once said, "Fellini gave me permission to be weird, and that's the greatest gift any filmmaker can receive." At 61, Gore Verbinski remains a rare kind of director, one who can make a billion-dollar pirate film feel like a surreal art piece or turn a horror movie into a meditation on fear itself. His favorite films reveal a man obsessed with contradiction, beauty and decay, control and chaos, spectacle and silence. Whether channeling Leone's wide shots, Lynch's nightmares, or Fellini's dreams, Verbinski has carved his own cinematic identity, one that stands between Hollywood and hallucination. So the next time you watch Pirates of the Caribbean, Rango, or A Cure for Wellness, remember, behind every frame, there's a filmmaker who grew up watching the strange, the surreal, and the sublime. And maybe that's why his movies, no matter how big or bizarre, always feel like dreams you can't quite wake up from. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Gore Verbinski's favorite movies, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more behind-the-scenes stories from Hollywood's most fascinating filmmakers. Which of these films do you think had the biggest impact on Verbinski's work? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll feature your best responses in our next video.